Swinging at the first pitch, loops it into right field. That gets down for a base hit. It's a two-run single for Luke Voit.
Voit had this in mind the whole time. Just fighting this pitch off, beating the shift.
Odor lines it to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It hops in front of LeMahieu, drives that into left center field, a base hit. Wade will score.
Another spinning slider starting to sit there. Even though DJ gets it off the end of the bat, he's able to elevate it.
Judge lines that to center field. That'll get down for a base hit. The Yankees take a 5-1 lead twice. Merrifield lines that to Wade, and Tyler Wade makes the diving catch.
You can see he kind of pulled up.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, makers of the Lawnmower 4.0 and the Performance Package. A lot of people ask me, how can they support the podcast? And one way that you can do it is by supporting my sponsor, Manscaped. The Lawnmower 4.0. This thing is an amazing little tool. It's got the skin-safe blade. It prevents nicks, tugs, all that uncomfortable stuff. It's got this LED spotlight in case you decide to trim your beanbag during the middle of a blackout. It's waterproof, so you can take it in the shower. And look at this box. This is an amazing box. Nothing shitty has ever come in a box this nice. Wireless, it's rechargeable, it's quiet, and you can save 20% and get free shipping by visiting manscaped.com and using the code NYY Recaps at checkout. That's 20% off and free shipping using the code NYY Recaps. Your balls will thank you. Yankees win this one, and they take another series. Offense had a decent day today. That made things a little bit less stressful. They jumped out to a lead early. Next step, Iowa for the Field of Dreams game. That's going to be amazing tomorrow night. It's on Fox, so you should be able to get it if you have any kind of television at all. I posted what I think is my favorite episode and the funniest episode of Yankees Game Day of all time this morning, where I previewed the game. So go check that out if you haven't. Views are a little bit down. I think people have kind of lost interest in the Yankees this time of the year because so many people are on the injured list and the Yankees have been struggling the last couple of days. But definitely go check that video out. If you want, we can watch it together at the end of this video. Use the hashtag YGWatchParty if you want to stick around after the recap and watch with me, and I can sit around in the chat and chat it up with you guys. Also, thanks to all the true Yankees fans who keep supporting this team. Even though the dog days of summer are here, the biggest stars are all on the injured list. You guys are the real MVPs. You guys are the reason that Yankees universe is the best. Yankees jumped out to a 2-0 lead on a base hit by Luke Voit in the first. Odor made it 3-0 with a nice piece of opposite field hitting. Royals get one in the first off of Lucas Litke. Tyler Wade doubled and stole third base in the top of the fourth. Gardy singled him in. Base hit by Judge made it 5-1. That was all the Yankees would get offensively. Albert Abreu had some impressive pitches today in relief. Tyler Wade made an outstanding play in left field in the bottom of the fifth. Didn't look like he maybe needed to dive. He probably could have kept running hard, but he kind of misjudged it, made up for it by accelerating and making a nice diving catch. Royals get a run on a fielder's choice in the bottom of the fifth. Ended up being an error, but the run would have scored anyway. Chad Green had a really nice day. 2 scoreless innings. His breaking ball was so much better today. I just think that's a great development for the Yankees as they go down the stretch. If you get Chad Green pitching really well, that's really going to help. Yankees made their 3rd error of the game in the 9th inning. They blew a routine double play ball. Bad flip from Rougned Odor. 7 errors in 2 games. So even though the Yankees win, it was not all sunshine and rainbows. That is not championship baseball. Got to tighten it up on defense. Zach Britton gets a double play from Santana to end it. And the Yankees take the series once again.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And it is time to announce the belt winner from the poll. Winning the belt for the first time this year, Mr. Tyler Wade.
Belt winner.
All right, let's hear what you guys have to say. Mark Stenrose says Green looked good today. Yeah, he really had the breaking ball going. His breaking ball has not been as sharp over the last couple of weeks. He was spotting his fastball, gave up just one hit, no walks. His velocity was, pretty good, mid to upper 90s. His mechanics looked nice and crisp. I think he's ironed some things out. So that's a really big help for the Yankees. He's really stepped up. Honestly, with all of the injuries and the COVID injuries that the Yankees have had, I didn't mean to put COVID in quotes there. I just mean that it's not an injury, it's an illness. The Yankees have really kind of stepped up. I mean, they've played well. They've won some close games against teams that they should beat. Tomorrow's going to be a nice test because they're facing a very good White Sox team. Carlos Rodon was scheduled to make the start, but he has been placed on the IL. No news yet on who will be replacing him. Probably Lance Lynn is what I've seen, but I have not seen that confirmed yet. Oswald Peraza will be called up to the taxi squad. Yankees continue to have a problem with the illness going around. Clay Holmes was placed on the COVID IL pending a result. Chance Curran with the Super Dono says, any news on these guys? I've heard a couple of things, but don't know what to believe. So we've heard that both Garrett Cole and Jordan Montgomery could be coming back this week in the next few days. So that would be a huge, huge addition. Camille says, when will Cole come back? A lot of people interested in Cole. Thank you guys for the dono hype. The last thing I heard is that they're going to join the team and throw a bullpen this week, and they could be activated next week. So fingers crossed on that. I haven't heard anything about Gary Sanchez, who I think that we could use. I feel like Kyle Higashioka is having a tough time in the heat. It's been really, really hot the last few days in Kansas City. I feel like that could contribute to some of his defensive struggles. Rob Brantley was in there today. He did a nice job. He gunned down Merrifield to end his streak of, I think it was 33 consecutive stolen bases that he'd had. Robert Olmstead says, Wade actually starting to hit. Tyler Wade he raised his average 50 or 60 points today. So great job by Tyler Wade. Luke WS with the custom dono. Says that he wants the taxi squad explained again. So when you're on the road, I don't know if it applies at home. I think it does. But for sure, when you're on the road, you're allowed to bring extra players with the team that can be there but are not on the roster. And they can basically take somebody's place if there's a COVID positive. Obviously, the Yankees have had a number of these over the past, couple of weeks. And so they want to have somebody ready. Andrew Velasquez has been playing shortstop for the last few days. Honestly, the announcers were really building him up, talking about how great he is. He doesn't look that great to me. He looks kind of average. He reminds me a little bit of Tyro Estrada, who I know is having a decent year with San Francisco, but he's a replacement player to me. I just don't see a stud prospect when I see him. I see him as an average kind of replacement. Jackson Risebeck says Wade is hitting 600 in this recent stretch. Actually, he's hitting 700 in his last 7 games. Chance Curran says Lynn is now indeed scheduled to start per the MLB app tomorrow. It's going to be fun, man. I'm having some friends over. We're going to get some food. It's going to be a really good time. I've been dreaming about this for decades. I mean, Major League is such a great movie, and it's a baseball movie, but it's also kind of like a relationship movie. It's a movie about time and relationship, not just like father and son, but the marriage, the financials, the brother-in-law. It's a real human story, but it brings an influx of this magical element where it's all of these ghosts are now come back. So it's okay, we have proof that ghosts exist and they're here to play baseball, apparently. And then they never go back and address that with a sequel or anything. It just ends based on a great book called Shoeless Joe by, I forget, J.P. Kinsella, something like that. I forget the guy's name, but I know that Ray Kinsella, the character, was based on the writer, the author of the book. Ruben Cruz says, wish we won last night, but glad we won the series. Appreciate the dono, Ruben. I appreciate that very much. Taco Nacho says he is very pumped for Peraza. Don't get your hopes up, because if he plays, it's because somebody got COVID. So I just hope it's not going to happen. I'd rather see him come up when he's ready, but obviously the Yankees think that he can fill in if needed. I'm really excited about Anthony Volpe. He's tearing it up at Double-A, or at High A, sorry. He should be promoted to Double-A in the near future, I would expect, especially if whatchamacallit, if Peraza gets added to the Major League roster. Mark Steenrose says, you said Major League. I meant to say Field of Dreams. Major League is another great, great movie. It's an all-time favorite. Those both came out in the late 80s, and I kind of grew up, through the early 90s watching those as like my two big baseball movies. We had them on VHS, but I think they were like recorded off of TV versions or something. So, occasionally you get half of a commercial mixed in or something like that. But it was that was pretty fun. Ray Liotta says he still hasn't watched the movie. That's a damn shame. It's a great, great movie. Ariadna says Volpe is killing it. He's going to be amazing. Yeah, last I saw, he had 17 home runs. He had over 20 stolen bases. He's hitting over 300. He's making a lot of contact. He's playing good defense. To me, he's probably your future shortstop, but they may move him over to third or second base depending on what happens with Peraza. I know that Peraza's amazing defensively. They may choose to go with the defensive shortstop and then move Volpe over to second base. But, you've got LeMahieu signed for another 5 years after this one. Gleyber Torres is under control for a bit. You got Rougned Odor under control for at least a couple of more years. It's going to be interesting to see how things unfold. I think you're going to see a lot of roster turnover over the next couple of years, especially if these prospects really work out. Ronnie says, look at that. The Yankees hit singles and double and pulled out the win. Stop the launch angle madness. Appreciate that, Ronnie. Yeah, so I would like to see more home runs. This is a team that wins a lot when they're hitting home runs, but they have not been driving the ball out of the ballpark lately. It is a good sign that they're picking up more singles. Tells me that they've changed their approach a little bit. I didn't get the final numbers on Gallo. He had another rough day, another launch angle guy. Chance Curran says, watched your video today. I'm watching the movie tonight. Do you know the dimensions of the field they will be playing on? I believe they're the same as the White Sox home park. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere. I'm sure somebody has it in the chat. If you want to post it in the chat, the official dimensions, I will put it up on the screen for the audience. Oif says, there's no crying? There's no crying in baseball.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
E says, nice on Brantley for ending Merrifield's stolen base streak. Yeah, he's got a gun back there. He is a great replacement catcher because he's a good defensive catcher. He's a left-handed hitter. He's a good guy. He's a good pickup. Robert Olmsted says, Major League is the all-time baseball movie. Greg Bird says, good eye, mate. Well, how you doing there? How are you?
Hello there.
Richard says, who's pitching tomorrow? It's going to be Andrew Heaney versus Lance Lynn. Joe Meza says, MLB social media posted the dimension. So if somebody wants to grab that, I'll go ahead and put that up. Let's see. Ruben Cruz says, interesting, I heard the opposite. Volpe was better defensively and Peraza stays maybe at third. Either way, excited for both players. Yeah, I've read that Peraza is the stronger shortstop. We won't know until we see it. I mean, different. You got to go off the word of a couple of scouts who've seen him regularly. I mean, we really need to get everyone's eyeballs and get a consensus on who's a better defensive player. But just judging from what I've seen in spring training, Oswald is a wizard defensively. I've never seen Anthony Volpe play live, but I will say that Anthony Volpe has a great swing. Ephraim Levi says, thanks for all your videos. Yanks got to stop playing out of position. 100% agree with that, and don't know hype. So the Yankees have been playing a lot of guys out of position. Rougned Odor has been playing out of position. Although Tyler Wade, he's playing out of position, but he's looked pretty natural out there in the outfield. So, I just think it's a lack of roster flexibility because some of these guys don't look right when they're out of position, especially Rougned Odor. He made another error today. He threw one about 15 feet over Luke Voigt's head, killed the mayor's kid. Let's see here. Taco Nacho says, it'll be very interesting if they sign a shortstop in the offseason for like 7 to 9 years. I don't see that happening. We're going to see people calling for the Yankees to sign Seager, but I feel like you're going to see Volpe be up, much sooner than people expect, and you might see Peraza tomorrow. So once these guys make the major leagues and show that they can be successful, then that changes the entire conversation. Pamela Davis says Major League 2 was better. I disagree. I mean, Major League 1 was an all-time classic, and it was R-rated. So it could go for like the more raunchy jokes, whereas Major League 2 was kind of the same story. And you didn't have Wesley Snipes. You had Omar Epps as Willie Mays Hayes. And Bob Uecker was great in both movies as the announcer. Luke says 300 to left, 350 to right, 350 to center. That cannot be right. That's like a small high school field. I could hit one out of that. That can't be right. Iraqi Freedom Vet says, cannot wait for the Field of Dreams game tomorrow. Major League 3 was the best one. That one's called Back to the Minors. And to me, that's not even a Major League movie because it's all about the minors, although I did enjoy Walter Goggins as Mr. Downtown. All right, guys, let's take a watch of this Field of Dreams preview. Keep in mind that I go into a part about Carlos Rodon starting. He has been replaced now that he's on the injured list with Lance Lynn, but this was one of my favorite Yankees game days of all time, so I figured we could all watch it together before we head off to dinner. I like movies that aren't afraid to have a little bit of magic. Field of Dreams is a magical film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. This is my original VHS copy from the early 90s. It's about this Iowa farmer who hears voices that inspire him to build a baseball field out in the middle of his cornfield. In fact, it's not all that different from how NYY Recaps got started.
If you build it, they will watch. If you build it, they will watch. If you build it, they will watch. Build a damn YouTube channel.
All right, I get it. Damn ghosts. I'm loving this thing that baseball is doing to try and expand to other countries. We had the UK series a couple of years ago between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
It's a 6-run first inning for the Yankees, and that's what they came to see.
And it was an absolute slugfest. It was so much fun.
He's been absolute box office.
We've had some Caribbean series, and now we get the Field of Dreams game, played on the iconic location of the 1989 movie starring Kevin Costner, Ray Liotta, and James Earl Jones. A true classic baseball movie. It's come on those bleacher features on the MLB Network a number of times, but if you haven't watched it, try and sneak it in before this game tomorrow so you can appreciate anything that they try and put into the game that's kind of an Easter egg for fans. Now, the game will not be played on the actual field that was used in the movie. They've constructed a little side ballpark with some stands that's appropriate for Major League Baseball. I'm interested to see how the cameras and all that are going to be set up. I think it's going to be a really fun time. You're probably not going to have the same amount of camera angles that you would typically have in a Major League Baseball game. You're definitely going to be able to hear the players more. There's not going to be any loud music. It's going to be a limited number of fans. Even though they're going to be packed, the stadium just doesn't hold that many fans. Even the locals are having trouble getting tickets, and they're going to have kind of a big watch party in the town where people can get together in the spirit of community and watch this game. And I just think that's great. I think that's great for baseball. I personally am having some friends over, ordering some food, and having a great night of baseball. It was supposed to happen last year, but coronavirus kind of changed the whole season, And so it got postponed to this year, and I think that's great because now you can have actual fans, and it's going to be a ton of fun. I mentioned Easter eggs earlier. That's kind of a slang term used in movies and entertainment where something is hidden inside of the production that only fans will notice. For instance, I hid an Easter egg in my intro. I was wearing a Corey Kluber shirt from his no-hitter, which took place while I was doing a watch party on NYY Recaps, so it obviously couldn't have been part of the creation of NYY Recaps. So that's just an example of an Easter egg. I got to think that you're going to have the players entering from the cornfield. I just think that that's the best way to go. It's going to be a visual that you won't want to miss. You would think that somebody from the movie will throw out the first pitch. Either Kevin Costner, who's a pretty good baseball player. He actually went deep during the celebrity game at the All-Star game one time. I think it was in Colorado. He'll probably throw out the first pitch.
Clear the mechanism.
You might get Ray Liotta out there.
I'm Ray, and I quit smoking with Chantix.
I don't know if James Earl Jones is going to make an appearance because he's kind of a little bit older now. And with the virus and all that stuff, I just think that he wants to kind of, keep his distance.
Who the hell are you?
But he might make an appearance via video or something like that. You might get the voice doing the announcing, now batting, Aaron Judge. Something like that. That would be super cool. We're also going to get a chance to see some throwback jerseys. This is something the Yankees don't do very often because their jerseys pretty much don't change. Over the past 100 years, they've only undergone minimal changes here and there. Texture of the jersey, material, slight tweaks to the font, but for the most part, they've remained unchanged. But these are definitely throwback jerseys, and it's going to be a ton of fun to watch. However, the greatest jersey promotions of all time were the turn forward the clock jerseys that the Seattle Mariners had in the late 90s. These things were so futuristic. Guys had backwards hats. That was a ton of fun, and I wish more teams would have fun with their jerseys from time to time. The Players Weekend a couple of years ago was kind of fun. Everybody got to put their custom nicknames on the back of the jerseys. But then the next year, the jerseys were just ugly and boring, and everyone hated them. So let's inject more fun into the game. I love it. Andrew Heaney will be pitching for the Yankees in the Field of Dreams game. And Andrew Heaney is a fly ball pitcher, so we might see some cornfield balls. But he got absolutely pummeled in his first start with the Yankees. Second time out, he gave up 4 runs in his first 2 innings, but then settled down and actually had a nice start after that, gave the Yankees a chance to win the game, and they did come back and win the game. So Andrew Heaney is looking to build on that start and put together a decent outing. I wouldn't complain, though, if it's a slugfest. However, the Yankees haven't been in many slugfests this year, and the last time that they played the White Sox, it was all about pitching and defense. There were some low-scoring games. There was a triple play. It was a really, really tight 3-game series, and the Yankees swept. The Yankees obviously hope to continue that success this time, but it's going to be difficult because a lot of the Yankees players are currently either struggling or on the injured list, and so the Yankees are going to be running out a lot of backups. And pitching for the White Sox in the Field of Dreams game will be Carlos Rodon. He's a local kid. He went to high school right near where I'm broadcasting. And he is 9-5 with a 2.38 ERA this season. He's got 160 strikeouts. He's having a banner year. And he pitched really well against the Yankees in New York earlier this year. Jordan Montgomery outpitched him, and the Yankees won that game. But he had a ton of strikeouts. He just dominated that lineup. And I'm not really feeling too good from the Yankees' perspective about having a big offensive night. So let's hope that this is a great old-fashioned baseball game. I hope there's a lot of excitement. There's definitely going to be things that are memorable. Yankees may not win, but they may win. They may sneak it out. But I'm probably thinking the White Sox are going to take this one. They just have the edge in the pitching matchup. But no matter what happens, it should be a ton of fun. And make sure you watch Field of Dreams before you check out this game. I promise you'll enjoy it if you enjoy baseball. It's magical. It's got a great cast, an unbelievable score. That music that you heard during the intro, that's part of the Field of Dreams score. Just a fantastic film. So give it a watch, and I will see you after the game with a post-game reaction. Hope you guys don't mind that I put this up a day early. I wanted to give more fans a chance to find it, but we're all looking forward to this game. Special shout out to the Patreon supporters and anyone else who has supported this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it the old thumbs up and subscribe for more Yankees content year-round. If you really enjoyed it, check out the Frieze. It's the official podcast of this channel. Or pick up some swag from the Teespring store, link in the description. Thanks for watching.